The Dacia Hipster Concept is not just another small electric vehicle prototype. It's a rethinking of what modern mobility could mean in an age where technology and excess often overshadow simplicity. At first glance, its box-like proportions and minimalist stance make it look like something between a toy and a tool, but that's precisely the point. This little car, measuring just 3 meters long and 1.5 meters wide, represents a radical approach to efficiency, affordability, and sustainability. Even though it is officially still a concept, the Hipster captures attention because it shows that Dacia has not only understood the limitations of today's electric cars, but also the fatigue people feel toward unnecessary complexity. Its compact design isn't about compromise. It's about focusing on what actually matters. Dacia has essentially tried to answer a question few automakers dare to ask. How small, simple, and honest can an electric car be while still fulfilling real-world needs? From its proportions alone, you can see Dacia has stripped everything down to the essentials. The Hipster is shorter than a Dacia Spring by a huge margin, yet it can comfortably seat 4 adults and still carry up to 500 liters of luggage when the seats are folded. That level of packaging efficiency is rare, even in a world obsessed with clever small cars. The brand claims it's 20% lighter than the Spring, which already happens to be Europe's most affordable electric vehicle. This reduction in mass directly contributes to lowering energy use and manufacturing impact, with Dacia promising that the Hipster's overall carbon footprint could be half that of the best electric vehicles currently on sale. Those numbers are not just engineering trivia. They show a tangible philosophy of restraint and resourcefulness. By doing less, the Hipster achieves more. It's a refreshing contrast to the arms race of ever larger batteries and oversized SUVs that dominate the electric market. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Hipster is that it was designed around real human behavior, not marketing ambitions. In France, for instance, Dacia's data shows that 94% of motorists travel less than 24 miles per day. In the United Kingdom, that average is just 19. Based on that, Dacia argues there's simply no need for enormous range figures or massive battery packs. The Hipster concept is designed to deliver enough driving range for everyday use, theoretically requiring only 2 charging sessions per week. This simplicity of use translates directly into cost savings, weight reduction, and less environmental impact. Dacia hasn't revealed the size of the battery or the motor specifications. But that's almost beside the point. What matters is that the car reframes what's truly necessary in urban driving. It's a bold step to remind us that the obsession with range anxiety might just be misplaced when the data clearly shows how little most people actually drive. From a design perspective, the Hipster looks like a statement of honesty. It's unapologetically boxy and almost cartoonish in its proportions, yet somehow it avoids being comical. The designers embrace the cube-like shape because it maximizes interior volume while keeping the footprint tiny. The overhangs are minimal, which doesn't just help with maneuverability, but also makes it look sturdy and confident. The tailgate extends across the full width of the rear and opens in 2 parts, providing a large, practical aperture for easy loading and unloading. Even the lighting has been simplified, with the rear lamps integrated behind the tailgate glass, eliminating the need for separate panels or recesses. The entire body is almost a flat pack exercise, available in a single color with only 3 painted sections: the front fascia and door entry panels. This radical simplicity not only keeps costs low, but also aligns with Dacia's core philosophy: design something useful, build it affordably, and make it last. What's fascinating is how Dacia managed to make the Hipster look friendly but not frivolous. According to Design Vice President David Durand, the team didn't want to make something small that looked like it was pretending to be a bigger or fancier car. Instead, they leaned into the cube aesthetic, inspired in part by Japan's kei cars, which are famous for their creative use of strict size constraints. The result is a car that feels tough and robust despite its small size. It has a high beltline that gives the impression of protection, while the upright stance and squared-off corners give it visual strength. The design doesn't try to hide its simplicity. It celebrates it. The Hipster looks approachable, even fun, but it also feels serious enough to be taken as a proper vehicle. Not a gimmick. It's small and friendly looking, but definitely not a toy. Simplicity at Dacia has become more than just a design theme. It's a form of creative discipline. Durand describes it as a game the designers play, constantly challenging each other to remove unnecessary parts. If someone presents a design that looks great but includes a non-essential detail, the team asks whether it can be simplified further, often replacing it with a clean chamfer or a smarter surface solution. This process forces creativity within boundaries, producing clever, low-cost ideas without compromising functionality. The Hipster embodies that principle to perfection. It's not minimalism for its own sake, but a targeted approach to value and purpose. Every line and material choice serves a reason. One of those materials is called Starkle, a composite made from 20% recycled plastic recovered from old car bumpers and dashboards. The material is then re-injected with virgin plastic, giving it a speckled texture filled with white dots. Instead of covering those marks with paint, Dacia decided to leave them visible, embracing the imperfection as part of the car's story. It's a design choice inspired more by sneaker culture than traditional automotive aesthetics, turning a flaw into a feature. The company admits Starkle is still more expensive than conventional materials, but with mass production, costs should come down. It's another example of Dacia's determination to make sustainability tangible, not performative. Inside, the Dacia Hipster continues this theme of essentialism. The cabin doesn't try to overwhelm you with screens or unnecessary gadgets. Instead, it welcomes you with a sense of openness and practicality. There are large doors on each side, giving access to both front and rear seats, which is rare in such a compact footprint. The door handles are replaced by simple fabric straps, a clever and lightweight alternative that perfectly suits the car's utilitarian ethos. The seats themselves are lightweight structures covered with mesh fabric, making them visually airy and surprisingly comfortable. You can see their frames exposed. A reminder that function comes first here. There's no electric adjustment, no excess padding, and certainly no massaging function. It's a deliberate contrast to the gadget-filled cabins dominating the market. In terms of safety and practicality, the Hipster is still well considered. There are airbags for both the driver and front passenger, and ISOFIX mounts are integrated for child seats in the back. The rear headrests swivel from the C-pillars instead of being attached to the seat backs, allowing the bench to fold completely flat for expanded cargo capacity. The resulting space totals about 500 liters, impressive for such a small vehicle. Even the dashboard has been reduced to the bare essentials. There's no built-in infotainment screen. Instead, Dacia encourages a bring your own device setup. A docking mount for your smartphone that doubles as both infotainment and navigation system. Your phone connects via Bluetooth to a portable speaker that's mounted to Dacia's clever U-clip system, which offers 11 anchor points around the cabin. U-clip accessories can include cup holders, pouches, or small storage boxes, letting each owner personalize the interior affordably. It's a modular approach that makes you rethink how car interiors could be designed if luxury wasn't the priority. Driving the Hipster, if it ever reaches production, will likely be more about engagement than outright performance. Its low weight promises agility and responsiveness in urban environments, and with the wheels pushed to the corners, it should deliver a go-kart-like feel around tight city streets. The steering position mirrors that of the larger Sandero, giving drivers a familiar sense of comfort despite the reduced size. This approach to ergonomics ensures that simplicity doesn't come at the expense of usability. Dacia's engineers clearly want this to feel like a real car, not a novelty electric pod. The small footprint means parking will be effortless, and energy consumption will be minimal, with Dacia estimating an optimal range of around 150 kilometers. The Hipster aligns perfectly with real-world use cases rather than chasing unrealistic benchmarks. Duran's own background helps explain this car's spirit. He owns a 1968 Land Rover Series CR and several motorcycles, which influence his appreciation for essential mechanical design. His philosophy borrows from motorcycle culture, where every component has a visible purpose. As he describes, a motorcycle represents the pinnacle of simplicity. You have an engine, 2 wheels, and a seat. It's raw and functional, yet deeply emotional. The Hipster channels that same energy into a 4-wheeled format, offering a sense of freedom through minimalism. It's not about being surrounded by luxury. It's about feeling unburdened by unnecessary features. Dacia calls this philosophy eco-smart, though one might just call it common sense. Make something lighter, and it naturally requires less energy to move. Fit a smaller battery, and you reduce cost and environmental impact. Use fewer materials, and production becomes more efficient. Each of these choices reinforces the other in what Duran describes as a virtuous circle. The end result is a product that feels deliberately human-centered, where design and engineering collaborate to remove clutter instead of adding it. It's a form of automotive honesty that's becoming increasingly rare. Visually, the Hipster stands apart because it doesn't try to fit in. Its blunt surfaces, upright glass, and chunky stance give it personality in a market saturated with over-designed crossovers. From some angles, it carries the charm of a vintage Land Rover in miniature, while from others, it resembles the friendly face of a kei car from Japan. The simple pixel-like rear lights and fabric door straps reinforce the quirky, confident identity. It's playful without being childish, practical without being boring. You can tell the designers had fun creating it, but they also respected the boundaries of purpose. Every detail, from the absence of unnecessary trim to the visible screw heads, feels deliberate. Although it's officially a concept, Dacia hasn't ruled out the possibility of putting something like the Hipster into production. And frankly, it makes sense. The world needs affordable electric cars that are actually built to a price people can pay. With models like the Citroën Ami and Dacia's own Spring proving that there's a market for small EVs, a production Hipster priced around £10,000 could easily find its niche. It would sit between the micro-sized Ami and the more conventional Spring, offering practicality, character, and affordability in one tidy package. And given Dacia's track record of turning bold concepts into real, functional cars, the Hipster's future looks promising. Ultimately, the Dacia Hipster is more than an experimental city car. It's a reflection of where automotive design might be heading, toward clarity, restraint, and relevance. In a time when cars are overloaded with software, screens, and features most people never use, Dacia's minimalist approach feels revolutionary. The Hipster challenges us to reconsider what we actually need from a car. Do we need huge displays, massaging seats, and autonomous systems to feel satisfied? Or would we rather have something honest, efficient, and joyful to drive? Dacia believes it's the latter. In many ways, the Hipster embodies a quiet rebellion against excess. It's the automotive equivalent of a reset button, taking us back to a time when cars were about movement, practicality, and connection rather than digital overload. The fact that it achieves this while looking distinctive and carrying a serious environmental message only strengthens its appeal. The Dacia Hipster Concept may still be a show car, but it's already done its job. It has made people think differently. And that, perhaps, is the most hipster thing of all.